What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today Brian and I are going to be going over my new spec idea for the 2020 Corvette C8, as that will be coming hopefully end of March, beginning of April is the tentative date for it. I have to go in a couple weeks and spec it out in person, but we're going to go over the spec that I did in a video a couple weeks ago and we'll start there. It was a 1LT and we're going to go over basically all the options on that car and why I'm changing it with the options that I don't really need or want. I guess we can go from there. Right. So I've got some notes to kind of keep us in line here. But the spec that I originally did was a 1LT, had the Z51 package on it, which gave us the upgraded suspension, the brakes, better tires, comes with the cooling, extra cooling, and that gives you the option as well for the magnetic ride, which I did opt for. Basically, I was at around $6,000 to $8,000 for a base, not a base, but a 1LT with pretty good options, I would say.
So really just Z51 is a paid option, magnetic ride is a paid option.
Mm-hmm. So basically I'm going to be speccing a new C8, and there's options on the Z51 package that I don't really want, I guess, or I don't see the need to spend $5,000 when we can do some of these aftermarket.
Yeah.
Like getting this larger wing that you can see on the screen right now. Well, actually, that's beside the point because I may get that.
Yeah.
I think I want to get that option because I don't want to drill holes myself into the car. But things like getting the magnetic ride, I'm not sure. I have that in my R8 right now. I hardly use it just for my needs. I don't go out on the track much. Back mountain roads, the car's sufficient enough for what it is.
You have to have Z51 to get magnetic ride.
Yeah, so to spend $5,000 to then have to spend $2,000 for the magnetic ride, you're already at $7,000 for, I mean, not a lot. To me, it doesn't seem like a good, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a valuable package because you can do a lot of this stuff aftermarket when companies start to make stuff.
I mean, the bigger brakes is what you'll be not getting, but I highly doubt the base brakes are going to be not good.
Yeah.
And you don't track it. A few track days every now and then.
So
it does have a limited slip differential standard, which is good. We weren't sure about that.
That comes on the 1LT as well.
Yeah.
So it's just not the electronically controlled limited slip.
I don't know exactly what that'll benefit you, but as long as it is an LSD. Now, if you didn't get magnetic suspension, the Z51 will have a performance suspension. So this won't be as stiff as a normal Z51.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll
Am I going to notice it? Not with our driving techniques, I guess. Or back mountain cruising is going to be fine.
Yeah. I think the
track day here and there
Z51,
fine.
if you're really tracking the car a lot, you definitely want it.
Yeah.
But 95% of the time we drive around town, it's really overkill at being these are mechanical options. Mechanical things we can always do later, be great videos. I'm sure you guys would love to see, putting an upgraded differential in it, upgrade the suspension,
or cooling,
bigger radiators, so
things like that.
Stuff we could totally do, which is why we were on a 2LT because it's the technology that we can't technically do. That
is a good transition to the next point here. Options that I want. Navigation is a huge thing. I mentioned that in the first video speccing out the C8. If the 1LT did not have navigation, I was going to the 2LT, and that is the case. A 1LT does not have navigation. That is not a video I want to make, installing a navigation on my 1LT, because you're going to spend
you're spending
way more money than even the Z51 package.
When I worked at the dealership, we had a few Audis that didn't have it.
Yeah.
And they all had the nav button. To get the navigation was like $5,000.
Yeah. Navigation, I'm getting navigation. Like, there's no way around it.
Now, should we talk about why that's a must for us? Because a lot of people comment saying, because the base Corvette will have the Apple CarPlay Android Auto, which is awesome. Your phone just syncs to it, and now your phone screen's within the car. That is awesome. But
biggest concern, I love the navigation screen for not just the navigation, but if we're going on a back mountain road or something, you just pull up the map and you can virtually see your track that you're going on. You know when a hard left's coming up, so you can be prepared to slow down, take that turn. So since that's already built into the car, I don't have to worry about it having any glitches or like my phone dying. It's not going to disappear if you have your phone tucked away somewhere. So that's really, I don't know, that's really important to have that. And with the navigation, it's always going to get you home too.
Yeah.
If we're out on some road and your internet goes out, you don't have, well, the car, does it have the built-in 4G? See, that's not on a 1LT though.
Really?
Or a 2. Because you have to have the nav, I think, to get the built-in
4G.
4G.
Because yeah, it should have its own 4G.
But what if that goes out with your phone?
You can't rely on that, which I've had issues where my phone doesn't work. There's no service. I can't look up a map. And for both of us, we hate having to rely on our cell phones for navigation because, I mean, we go on a random road trip sometime where you're in the middle of nowhere and there is no reception. Having hard drive nav, you can hit home and you will get home. I've been 13 hours away from home one time in my Genesis Coupe years ago. I had no clue where I was. I did not have a smartphone at the time. I hit home on my nav and I got home. But on top of that, so for those of you who are new, I worked at a car dealership for 3 years.
We'll let Brian do this talking.
Our expensive cars, which were $50,000 and plus, if they did not have hard drive navigation, they did not sell at all. We had a few BMWs and Audis sitting on the lot for over 1 year because they did not have navigation. People would come in, love the car, they'd say, oh, there's no nav. Simply would not buy it. The thing with us, we're not buying cars for 10, 20 years. Obviously, we flip cars a little bit quicker given this is our job. So for us, to buy these cars, we're buying it also for the next person because a used car buyer is a lot different than a new car buyer. And used car buyers will not save $1,000 and get a car that doesn't have the nav. It's just the used car mindset, it's not an option. So you're going to hurt with resale value if you don't have nav because my experience, all of our expensive cars would just sit forever. It just wouldn't sell. So
let's go back to more of the options that I want aside from the nav. The exhaust, which I just mentioned, or which we already talked about, I can get that aftermarket. It's about a $1,200 option for the performance exhaust, I believe.
But it comes with
it comes with the Z51 package included in that if you get it. I want the spoiler, which I'm going to have to just outright get. I can get it with or without Z51. Two-tone interior. With the 1LT, I spec'd it out with solid red seats on the inside, and that was kind of just overkill just a little bit.
Well, it was only the seats.
But it was the only option that you could get on the 1LT as far as getting red.
Yeah.
Because it gave you red stitching on the steering wheel and on the dash and everything, and I think it looked really nice against the blue, which a lot of you guys agreed with me in the first video. A lot of you want to see the blue car with the red, so I'm going to keep that. But with the two-tone, as Brian pulls it up here, the centers are black leather.
So on here this is a 2LT.
That's kind of similar to the spec though.
So here's the GT1 seat.
Yeah.
Disregard the whole dash because a 1LT you can only change
the seat color.
Actually, there we go. So a 1LT, this is the nicest interior on a 1LT. Red seats, everything else is black, but you have red stitching and the red on the steering wheel,
which I really liked.
So then,
but if we go, what is it? It's almost $2,000 to go with the GT2 seats. So
on the 2LT, you are now allowed to get the GT2 seats.
Right.
So with that, the GT2 seats,
and
we'll click. They're a little more aggressive.
Yep, they're all leather. You can opt for suede. You can do that for the centers, but if you do that, it automatically gives you a suede steering wheel,
which is another $500, I believe.
Which is more money and more wear because it's going to wear quicker. So I'm doing solid leather seats with the leather steering wheel.
So 2LT also gives you the now color on the dash. So with the red seats, we now have red on the dash, which is awesome, just to give it more performance, or a more performance look. And then the two-tone interior option is only $400 option.
Yeah.
And now this kind of takes some of the red away to give it, I think, a little bit nicer look.
I think I like that a lot better than the solid red.
Yeah, so now we have some nice black leather in the center, carbon fiber on the seats. These are upgraded seats.
They'll be heated and ventilated as well, which is not available on the 1LT.
Yeah, so this is the interior then of your car will be. All leather, no Alcantara or suede.
Yep.
But red and black leather, two-tone, red stitching.
And I think that looks a lot nicer and nice, kind of cleaner, more upscale than the solid red. Yeah. But the solid red had a solid black dash. This is kind of mix and matching it just a little bit. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the tech features with the navigation system, because on a 1LT, you basically don't get any tech.
Yeah.
So in order to get like blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic, all that, you have to have the navigation system to get all those options.
And the
along with the heads-up display
and the track telemetry.
Oh, the PDR, the performance data recorder, is available on the 2LT. So while some of that stuff I don't want the heads-up display. Yeah. I like the blind spot, the rear cross traffic. I don't really need that stuff because I pay attention while I drive. Anyway, so all that stuff comes with the navigation, which is a plus for a second buyer again, but you can't get any of that on a 1LT.
Yeah.
So I'm getting navigation, that's all the bells and whistles that comes with nav. So
really I think it comes down to going for the 2LT over the 1LT, mainly because of all the tech features, taking away the mechanical features like the Z51 and suspension.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff we can do later on as aftermarket.
Right.
And the price difference, the one we built, the 1LT with Z51 was around 68, 69 grand. A 2LT now with no Z51 or magnetic, but we have the two-tone interior, the upgraded seats, and the big wing. We're at around $70,500. So that's just less than $2,000 more to get into this 2LT. And the only big things, I mean, yeah, the brakes aren't quite as big, but it's not tracking it every day, so it really won't make a difference. Suspension's probably good enough. The differential's probably good enough. The core's probably good enough. It's not like it's going to be on the track every day, so a lot of it's still overkill for the street, so it's probably good enough for what you're going to use.
Yeah, in the end, $2 grand more for this 2LT versus the 1LT that I spec'd out. I think I find more value in that than getting a 1LT and spending $5 grand on the Z51 package.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I don't think you're getting a great value for that $5,000.
Those brakes are expensive. If you were to upgrade
aside
the brakes,
from I mean, there's cool parts in it.
It's very well worth it. It's just if you're not going to use it, it's not worth much to you.
Right.
So you're going to use the nav, the two-tone interior. You're going to see every single time you use the car.
Yeah.
You're going to use the tech and the luxuries more.
Yeah.
But it's still an awesome sports car that's going to destroy things.
But at the same time, like we mentioned earlier, there are parts in the Z51 package we can do aftermarket.
Yeah.
For much less money.
Yeah. The only other thing to mention, as far as wheels go, you're going to be getting silver wheels because that's a $1,000 option to get them painted black.
Painted black. So I'm going to stick with the silver because we're going to paint those black.
And I mean, I know many professional painters who would knock that out for $400 anyway.
Yeah.
And then the calipers, I think you said you're going to go black, just the basic ones.
I think I'll go black because there are a little bit of sacrifices that I'm making going to a 2LT to save a little bit more money. I wanted to stick around. Yeah, I wanted to stick around the $70,000 mark. So going to $70,500, I'm okay with. Just for reference, with the Z51 package on the 2LT, we were up to almost $77,000, so $7 grand more.
That's out the door. That's an $80,000 car.
Yeah.
So for everybody saying they're the same price as a Supra, we're now at an $80,000 car.
Yeah.
That's with Z51 everything.
I think that's where they get you. A 1LT doesn't have nav or a lot of the features that people probably want. Yeah. So you really won't see a lot of 1LTs, I don't think.
You're gonna see $75,000 cars.
Yeah.
There's no $60,000 ones.
So with this configuration, I'm sticking around the $70,000 mark, which I mentioned in the previous video. That was my budget, and I'm getting more tech, kind of a better equipped interior.
Very nice interior.
And
that's a nice interior.
Yeah, back to the brakes. I'm gonna get them black.
I think they would look cool blue.
Might paint them body colored blue because that's not an option.
You can't do that. I mean, you're spending $1,000 to get Chevy to paint your wheels and $600 to get them to paint the calipers.
So that's
we can have that done. I think $500-600, less than half price.
I'm gonna get the wing. I love that wing.
That's one thing. As much as we can install one for probably $1 grand or $2,
you're drilling a lot of holes.
The wing is only $1,100, and for that to be installed, I don't want to drill holes in that.
Yeah, I might just keep that on.
I would do it.
Without the wing, I would be under $70,000 for a 2LT. So that's kind of it, you guys. That is the spec.
That's the car.
The new the new spec for my 2020 C8. As of right now, my R8 is not sold, but you guys are going to be probably a week behind this filming date, and I have somebody coming to look at it tomorrow.
Same person who was there last week.
Yep, so the car may be gone tomorrow, which for you guys, again, is a week ago. And then I can start the process of ordering this car and getting it built.
Yeah.
So that is going to be pretty cool.
So that's basically what it would look like once you paint the wheels and then pretend it has blue calipers.
Yeah.
And then we can do a splitter kit, new exhaust anyway. And
with the red seats.
Yeah, I mean, this interior you use the interior every time you're in the car. I mean, look how cool that looks.
Just to touch base on the front end lift, I think it's $1,400, and the ground clearance is like 5.5 inches up front, maybe a little less. The ground clearance on my R8 is 6.8. It's a good bit higher than this, so I'm not sure if I want to get that or not. I'm still thinking about that.
Yeah, that's not a make or break price difference.
It's not. if I had to go with it, I would at that price.
Yeah.
But do I need it? I don't know. Well, I've never needed.
If you put a splitter on it, that does lower it even more. Like when you add
like an aftermarket splitter.
Because with the Z51 package, look how much lower the front end gets, technically.
So it's going to be less than 5 inches.
Yeah. So that might be. So we might be around 72.
I might not be able to get in my own driveway with it.
Oh.
Because
once you do the lip,
the R8 is close.
Yeah. So I guess a 2LT with the wing, the GT2 seats, the two-tone interior, and the front end lift.
Yep.
So 4 options, which equate to about $6,000-7,000. Actually, no.
Basically my goal was to try to see how many options I can get in that $5,000 without getting the Z51.
It's about $5,000 worth of options,
and without I don't have to spend that $5,000, but those are nice options for $5,000. Add another $5,000 for cooling.
Yeah.
And Michelin tires.
Yeah.
You're talking, now we're back up to that $78,000 mark. So that's the spec.
It's a very nice equipped vehicle, and mechanically we can upgrade it from there.
And I'm not breaking the bank either.
Yeah,
so it's kind of the best of both worlds. This is hopefully the last rendering. Rendering of my C8. And maybe some things might change in person when we go to spec it, but this is essentially the car.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are excited. I am very excited. Hopefully my car sells tomorrow.
Yes.
And I can start focusing on the Z for a little bit and then get this ordered. Be driving the C8 soon. So that'll be awesome. Toyota Supra will be here, should we say tomorrow? Because when this video goes up,
Monday it hits dealership. Wednesday I should be able to take it home. My Supra was not on the ship that sank. That is good.
So,
I think that came from South Korea or something. So my car obviously came from Germany.
So that video should be tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, Supra this week. Whenever this video goes out, it's this week.
So we have a lot of exciting content coming for you guys with the Supra, the C8, all our other vehicles and projects and mods that are going on. So smash that subscribe button, give the video a huge thumbs up, and stay tuned for the rest of 2019 with all of these projects going on.
Yeah. So much new car stuff.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's it for today's video. And
see you next one.
We'll see you next video.